I want to show you the transformation of 3 acres of poor, north-facing, very wet, boggy land. The transformation from this into the most glorious paradise of woodland. So, if you care to walk with me, there's a little beginning to this video, which starts this morning as I light a fire outside and boil my kettle to make some tea. It's very much an outdoors day. So I set up a little fire this morning outside in the fire pit, and I put my kettle to boil on the top and made a nice big pot of tea. A great way to start the day, and the kettle should just keep simmering for as long as I need it, because there's lots and lots of little bits of wood round the land. So I thought what I'd do is I'd take you round the woodland gardens and show you some of the flowers and some of the trees and some of the sights, okay? Like just a woodland garden walk. Can't believe some of these greens. And there's the beautiful lunaria, look, beginning to seed. You know, the thing about lunaria is the seed heads are probably more beautiful than the flowers. And then this is a lovely little plant. It's a little wild pea, the name of which evades me at the moment, but the bees love it, absolutely love it, as they do all these flowers which are quickly turning into berries. And the daisies, oh my goodness, the daisies. And the Chinese forget-me-not. And the last of the beautiful candelabra cowslips. So they're just starting to fade, but some of the top bits are still just exuberant in colour. Here in Ireland, here in the west of Ireland, we have what's called No May, and that's just to give all the wildflowers a chance to push up through the grass and to let the bees at them. So it's daisies galore here. And how's that for a beautiful spray of white roses? They're just starting to go over as well, but it's been fantastic just coming in here, hanging up clothes and having to move under the beautiful flowers. They just smell beautiful. Oh yeah. So I just walked down to the second part of the woodland, which is the fairy wood, and it's, oh, look at all this. Look at all this beautiful, it's like it's just beautiful. So fairy wood, just going past the badger set here, the fairy wood is down in a real dell. It's all the way down there, look. And there's my beautiful rebirthed rowan tree. Look at all these ferns. Do you know, when I first started the Altena project in 2004, do you remember me saying there wasn't one fern here? Not one. And now, look at that, covered in ferns. Oh, how nature is revelling in the glory of May. You can hear her joy and feel her happiness. And look at these beautiful wild violets, look. Another little oak that I planted down in the fairy wood. And look at these ferns. Look. We've come all the way down from up there, look. This is a magical little place. The fairy wood at the Altena Cottage. Just going down now towards the spring well. And more ferns. This is completely crazy. I've never seen so many ferns here at the Altena. Don't they look magical? All this is meadowsweet. It's all coming up. It'll flower around about June. But look at this beautiful little oak tree. Yet another one. I've lost count of how many I've planted now at the Altena. Just on the other side of the fairy wood now. I think this is going to be quite a long video because just to walk the paths is... And I'm walking pretty fast, but there's so many paths here now. That's the crossing stone there by the fern. And it looks like one of the wild roses has overtaken the path here. We'll go down this way. just walking towards the stream and the pond. As you can see, it's all become very overgrown. Such is the way. Right up until midsummer, the growth continues and everything gets more and more dense and lush. There's the stream, look. And the pond down there by the purple beach. Just crossing the stream now. It's one of the big standing stones. That weighs about 3 ton. That's the path going up to the right. Another little oak tree, little Irish oak. That's camellia. And there's the little mayflowers. We're right in the shade now of some of the older trees that I planted here, like this oak, which is, I think it's about 16 or 17 years old. It's massive. Do you remember this evergreen tree, which was growing in a half barrel by the side of the cottage? 2 little hawthorns. Big pine trees. And another oak. And all the blossom on the hawthorn. And these are my little field maples here. And do you remember the green beech that was growing in this big metal tub at the end of the veranda? And how myself and my daughter managed to move it, and we sank it about halfway down into the soil, breaking open the bottom of the container. It's ever so happy now, look. Look how it's thriving. And there's the Cotoneaster, which was a self-seeder, grew in the pot, and that's equally happy. The path has become just a swathe of buttercups. There's a little copper beech peeping out. And these are some hazel trees that I planted. These buttercups are beautiful, aren't they? They're just glorious. There's some berberis, making a little patch for itself. And can you see those little oaks in there? I only planted those I think it was last year. Spring of last year. There's a little rowan tree, look, and it's flowered as well. Just a baby. Well, you are in for a treat because this video is going to be very long indeed. I think I'll have to go into town to get some extra strong internet to upload this, because the longer the video, the more YouTube seems to make it difficult to upload. Lovely horse chestnut there. And hypericum. Very happy in the woodland. And this is where the bench is. It used to be on the driveway. It's a lovely shady place to sit, especially as summer heats up. Beautiful beech tree over there. Look at the shape of it. Isn't that gorgeous? So this is the cottage now, finished. Well, needs a few things doing, but it's very habitable, very homely, very nurturing. All around the cottage I keep as a gravel garden, and the woodland edge comes right up to the gravel. So it takes about 10 seconds to walk from either the front or the back door into the woodland. It's where I have a sort of a cottage garden. Some planted in the rustic beds and some in pots, planted in pots. And of course the ferns are everywhere. And as we walk up around the side of the little barn that I built onto the side of the cottage, there's just enough space. This is the veranda, and the roses, absolutely beautiful roses, growing out of 2 towers. The same with the grapevine, beautiful black grapes. I grow a fair amount of vegetables and fruit, mostly black currants and apples, quite a lot of nuts from the hazelnuts, seasonal vegetables, mostly greens. And the vegetable garden is just through the laurel arch. The planting has continued over the course of the years from 2005 to the present day. So the woodland has come on in various stages. This is the vegetable garden. I use the no-dig method because, of course, it's the least amount of work. So next year will be the 20th anniversary of Altena Cottage. This is now year 19. Willow archways. The land has gone through so many different transformations because you don't just start planting a woodland and leave it at that. There's so much light comes through that you're able to have a variety of gardens slowly evolving. Like this oak tree is now, I think it's about 17 years old or 18 years old. And the lime trees. This is one of my wood stores because, of course, there's a lot of wood harvested from the woodland now. Mostly coppiced or pollarded. I don't actually cut down any trees unless they're absolutely squashing out something else, but that's quite rare. You can see the size of some of these trees. This is a cherry tree. And some of the beautiful lime trees. The linden. So we'll walk up towards the stone circle now. It's impossible to live in such a beautiful place and not believe in magic. And magic simply explains away the inexplicable. Like this woodland, how on earth has this been manifested? And it looks so old, it looks as though it's always been here. But here is the magical 13 stone circle. In honour of women, in honour of the moon, the 13 moons, the 13 cycles of a woman. And proof that 13 was never an unlucky number. It was simply a powerful number. And of course, we can't have that now, can we? You see, magic does exist. And we can create it with Mother Earth. I've written a series of books all about my journey here at Altena Cottage. This is a little one, the Altena Cottage Guide to the Deep Midwinter. Walking Between Worlds, In Search of the Goddess Rising, and A Cottage in 3 Acres. All my books are printed here in Ireland at my local printers in Carrick-on-Shannon. I don't use any aspect of corporate internet book selling. And all my books then are posted from my local post office. So thank you for supporting Altena Cottage. You'll find the link to my bookshop under this video and every other video. Blessings to you all.